Edghill to make his contribution. Try again.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Don't start as yet. Try one more time at the podium. I would like to get your presentation from the podium. Give us a few moments to get a technician. Hold on. We will. I want you to the podium. Honorable Chief Whip for the government, are you imputing?
No, sir.
Okay, rolling.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
You're starting at 221.21.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to join this debate on Budget 2024. And in doing so, sir, I must acknowledge the hard work, dedication, and commitment of my colleague who I've been working with for the past many years in government, in the person of Dr. Ashni Kumar Singh. And in doing so, sir, I want to also acknowledge the hard work of his staff at the Ministry of Finance. Mr. Speaker, and in no less a manner, I would also like to acknowledge the hard work of my own staff at the Ministry of Public Works and all of its agencies. And may I say, sir, in this presentation, that I'm also recognizing and acknowledging the partnership that I enjoy with my minister, the Honorable Deodat Indar, the minister within the Ministry of Public Works. Mr. Speaker, there are 7 statements that I want to make before I go into my presentation and to deal with some rebuttals as well. Statements of fact. Number 1, Guyana is experiencing a new paradigm of accelerated development. Statement of fact. All my colleagues on the other side will agree with me on that. Secondly, statement of fact. The PPPC is one of the most visible, transparent, efficient, sensitive, and responsive government that Guyana has ever seen. Statement of fact. In every region, in every community, the president, the cabinet, and all of their officers can be seen engaging people. So when we come to this house to present things, it's because we listen and we respond. Third statement of fact. Our actions and interventions are always people-centered. When we make decisions and interventions and there is policy formulation, we answer the question, how does this benefit the people? So when we come here to debate and to present our facts and present our projects and programs and policies for support, we answer the acid test. How does this benefit the people? And I will spend some time this afternoon speaking about how Budget 2024 benefits the people. Statement of fact. What is happening in Guyana now is that the latent potentialities of our people are being discovered, organized, and mobilized all across this country. We're not just talking about Guyana has the potential to do. No longer. We're not talking about what we have the potential to do. We have discovered, we are organizing and mobilizing those potentials for the development of Guyana. Statement of fact, number 5. Our goal and our mission of the team PPPC is to modernize and transform Guyana. We cannot continue to refer to ourselves as poor Guyana, old Guyana, poorest country in the Caribbean. We are modernizing and transforming Guyana. Statement of fact, number 6. We in the PPPC, we are not splurging, we are catalyzing. Statement of fact, and I will build that case this afternoon. We're not splurging. So when I present to you what we're going to do with our money that has been allocated, you will see it's not splurging. And I will make the case that if we don't do it now, how much it will cost us 5 years and 10 years from now. And statement of fact number 7. We are utilizing our current opportunities. We have current opportunities that exist because of the global environment, because of what is happening in Guyana, because of the reality that we are now engaging in petroleum, but we're utilizing that opportunity to secure the future prosperity of Guyana. That's a statement of fact. Whatever we are doing, it's not just about now. We are securing the future prosperity of Guyana. So since we have gone through that, I want to address a few things. My very good friend, and I believe we get along quite well all these years that we have known each other, the Honorable Member, Kemred Ramtatan, stood up in this house and he made a very compelling statement that if it is not properly examined and scrutinized, people in Guyana could run away with the wrong impression. And I'm going to correct that now. The Honorable Member said that this budget caters for the contractor class. 1,000 people will benefit from this budget. And he was saying basically that in the capital budget, or the PSIP, for those who are listening, the Public Sector Investment Program, the capital budget is about $666 billion. And it is a fact that in the preparation of bills and estimates for projects, there's always a profit margin close to about 20%. So what he did was took out 20% of that, and that would take you to just over 120 billion. And he says 1,000 people are going to benefit from 120 billion. And 54,000 public servants and 72,000 pensioners are going to benefit from 121 billion. 1,000 of the rich people and 100 and something thousand of the poor people at the bottom suffering. And he showed that there is inequity in the distribution of resources. I wouldn't want to say that, but I like the sound of it, an intoxicated analysis. Mr. Speaker, what is the reality? Number one, the 72,000 pensioners, and I hope some of them are listening to me, they do not get support from the budget line that Mr. Ramjatan is talking about of employment costs of 121 billion. There's a separate budget line that I think in this year's budget, there's some $43+ billion allocated for pensioners. So you're wrong on that first point. And he knows that, he's wrong on the first point. Secondly, sir, let me just start with the Ministry of Public Works. In the Ministry of Public Works alone, in 2023, we engaged almost 4,000 contractors. That's not the whole country. That's not the whole country. And you know something, sir? I'll give you a little breakdown. Because some people like to talk about the small contractors to the big contractors. In the category of 15 million and under, 1,438 contractors were engaged. 15 million and all, small contractors. 1,458 across the length and breadth of Guyana. Secondly, coming to that, in the middle, 15 million to 100 million at the Ministry of Public Works, not in the whole country, 601 contractors. At the Ministry of Public Works alone, Honorable Member Ramjatan, 100 million and over 114 contractors. Now, all right. Now listen to this. At the National Tender Board, I have been advised, Honorable Member Mr. Jones, I notice you're looking to me, and my sister, the Honorable Anna Ferguson, for more than 6,003 projects, more than 54,740 contractors submitted bids. So, you understand what is happening here, Mr. Speaker? So if the analysis starts on the wrong premise, the end result is on the wrong premise. So I stand here today to correct this fact that budget 2024 is for contractor class. Budget 2024 is for all Guyanese. You know, Mr. Speaker, one of the things that we have to do is to explain to people how the budget benefits them. Apart from the capital budget of $666+ billion, which is where people get projects and awards of contracts and the purchasing of capital, new contracts and businesses, some of them are rollover. In the current budget, which is the recurrent budget, I want the people to listen. Vehicle spares and maintenance. There's an allocation of $2 billion. You know what that means? All the vulcanizing shop, the tire shop, the mechanic shop, the man who got to sell the few car parts and so on. These are opportunities for them in the budget. Under other transport, the man who's renting taxi, bus, the hiring of boat, and all the rest of it in the interior, $2 billion. And these are not the contractors I just finished speaking about. These are just other suppliers. Under security, and I'm going to speak here now again on the security, where a number of our women are engaged. And this opposition, who likes to say they're championing the cause of women, you must explain to them why you're not supporting a budget where employment for them, security, in the recurrent budget is almost $12.1 billion. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people benefiting from this in all 10 regions. In the budget line of equipment maintenance, 2.9 billion. In the budget line of refreshment and meals, the caterers and all the people who will provide for meetings and all the rest of it, there is money that is available there, some $541 million, cumulatively across the whole country in all the agencies and ministries. And the purchase of other goods and services under 6284 and 6294, 19 billion and 1.2, 19 billion and 8 billion. When you do the math, honorable member, you have almost $70 billion of opportunities. Taxi driver, minibus driver, boatman, mechanic, printer, stationery supplier, the plumber, and I haven't gone here with maintenance of roads and maintenance of our infrastructure and maintenance of drainage and irrigation. We ain't gone into that. This is just the ordinary. So I'm here to tell the people of Guyana, don't be fooled by people who told you that 34 is the majority of 65 and not 33. They're just doing it again in a different form. Don't let us mix it up. Mr. Chair, Mr. Speaker, but it is 33. Are you not qualified to contract? Mr. Speaker, in the Ministry of Public Works, where there seems to be a very aggressive attack that the budget is heavy on infrastructure. Our total capital budget is $225 billion. The total budget of the ministry is $236 billion. My honorable friend and colleague, the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Mr. Charles Ramson, when he debated, said, please explain to us which project you want us to drop. If you wouldn't like me to build the Demerara Harbor Bridge, stand up and say so now.
They want a 3-lane bridge. That's what they want.
You know why, Mr. Speaker?
They want a 4-lane bridge.
I was having a conversation, and just let me explain to the people of Guyana who are listening. Let's say the minimum wage is $80,000. Minimum wage. That's what the lowest salary somebody can be paid. And a man is trapped in traffic for 2 hours, 2.5 hours per day. It is costing that person a minimum of about $1,300 per day. Active, productive time at minimum wage value, $1,300. Multiply that 23,000 vehicles, 23 to 25,000 vehicles cross the bridge daily. Multiply that by 4. Minibus, big bus, canter, truck, taxi, private people bringing friends to work, school children. Multiply that by 4. And that's 92,000 right there to 100,000. And multiply that by the 1,300. And then multiply that by 300 days per year. Numbers getting too big. Tell me if you don't want it. All right. If you don't want the Hope-like canals that are being built in Region 5 and Region 6, let you who say you represent farmers stand up and tell us that you want those places to be flooded when there is heavy rainfall, and that you will provide them the subsidy to keep them going when they can't plant, and you will pay them for the cows and the sheep and everybody who's dying in those flood waters. We stand up now and tell us you don't want us to spend on that. I call on the honorable member. I could give you some of my time to tell the people why you don't want it. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, if they don't want us to bring gas to shore, to produce electricity, to bring down our electricity cost by 50%, which means that everything that depends on electricity, if the price for it is going to be manageable and go down. Tell us you don't want it. That is a real cost of living measure that will affect every household in Guyana. So, Mr. Speaker, if they don't want us to modernize the Chedijagan International Airport, if you don't want us to bring in new airlines, if you don't want us to provide an opportunity in tourism so that employment could go to your children and your children's children, stand up and tell us now. And if you can't stand up and tell us now, shut up and go home.
You have to withdraw that. And
Sorry.
Yeah.
If you can't stand up, I apologize, sir. I apologize. I sincerely apologize. If you don't want us to spend the money on navigational aids in our rivers so that our ferries and our mariners could move through safely day and night, stand up and tell us, take the money out now. If you don't want us to buy the vessels so that we could carry the pilots out to bring in the big vessels that need to come to Guyana in our river channel, stand up and tell us now. If you don't want us to maintain the current Demerara Harbor Bridge while we are building the new bridge, stand up and tell us now. If you don't want the community roads program, which has been allocated $70 billion to continue, so that the letters that you've been writing me, I could respond to you and say, we're going to do it because we have the money now, stand up and tell us now. I didn't bring the letters today, Mr. Speaker, because I respect my colleagues that they have the right to make representation for people. But if you're going to write me and ask me to fix the road, you got to have the money in the budget to respond to you to fix the road. I heard an honorable member, she's not here, I don't know why, was talking about how we do no road in Haslington, we do no road and this, and we do no road in this. Listen. I want any of the members or the society at large to take photographs of the roads in Melanie. All are being completed. Melanie Damishana. I believe that the honorable member, Mr. Devin Sears, who spoke last night, I will spare Mr. Figueroa at this time. He has his own challenges. If the honorable member, Mr. Devin Sears, would like to be honest, I want him to take out the 62 concrete roads that has been built in Linden, and the several other asphaltic concrete roads that have been built in Linden. Says we don't like the budget because they're spending the money on Linden. But you know something, Mr. Speaker? This new AFC government is like an abusive husband. Mr. Speaker, I'm making an analogy. In 2015, the girl fall in love with him. I promise you, he buy some diamonds, you catch up on vacation, he can carry her to heaven. And after 5 years of abuse and slap and beat down, he punish your father, he take away the water subsidy and electricity subsidy from your father.
Don't get what you want.
You don't get what you want.
Don't get what you want.
He turned around and he punished your children, the school grant that she was getting. Take it away. And the lady decide she can take a new partner. I hear now. The new partner that she has is carrying her in the King's Jubilee World and buy her diamonds. He said, I don't plan for buy them for you. When the lady, when the man is now buying, the current man is now buying and said, I'll buy you I don't plan to buy you a bigger one. That's what we hear in whole day. I had plans, I had plans, I had plans, I had plans, I had plans. It's we program, it's we program, it's we program. I don't buy a bigger one, it's we thing you take, it's we thing you take. You had the opportunity to treat the Guyanese people well and you did not. You blew it. So don't come here now as if you are the epitome of righteousness to lecture us on this other side about how we run in the country. If you're going to make criticisms, tell us what we could do better. Mr. Speaker,
There may be a reason for
Mr. Speaker,
that. And there may be a reason for that. Why we wouldn't listen.
I want to describe the Guyana that we are building. And at the same time tell you what is happening in every region and how everybody in Guyana will benefit from budget 2024. Let's start with Region 1. Right, we're going in order, Region 1. So we are building new stellings at Port Kaituma, Mabaruma, Marawana. We have a new vessel that is plying the route, the MV Militia. That means we now have 3 vessels that is going to Region 1. We have built out the concrete roads in Matthews Ridge, continuing in Mabaruma, continuing from Maruka all the way down to Quibana. We are building out the infrastructure in Mabaruma. We're taking the road down to Hosororo. Region 1, the people are happy.
12 to 2 in Mabaruma.
Let's talk about Region 2. Where Mr. Holder is not here today, the honorable member, I apologize for his absence.
I might fall from Mabaruma with love.
The people of Region 2 are the happiest that they've ever been. You know what? People in Region 2 are happy because the services that are being offered by the Transport and Harbors Department have significantly improved. More trips, better timings. And you know something?
What was preventing them from doing?
The other day when I was making a trip to Region 2. The other day I was making a trip to Region 2. And a young boy was having his game, and he was kind of uncomfortable and upset. And I said to him, what's the problem? He said, you know, I don't have Wi-Fi. And that kid, when I tell you the PPP is sensitive and responsive, we have put Wi-Fi on the MV Militia going to Region 1. Why can't we put Wi-Fi in the Sabanton, the Kano one, so that the people, when they're going home, 90 minutes, they could get their homework done and all the rest of it. We will continue to improve the service at Region 2. Region 3, wow! A new center, or I should say the epicenter of development in Guyana at this time. Housing, new malls, new development. But look at the improvement of the road infrastructure, sea and river defenses. In budget, you're just like the abusive man who said, we the plan for do that. Parika Stelling is going to undergo major rehab. With the building of the new Demerara Harbor Bridge, connectivity from Region 3 and Region 4 is going to be like never before. The man from Tushen will be able to join a 4-lane highway from Schoonard to Parika, get over the river and get to work in 20 minutes, reducing travel time, great accessibility. Let's come to Region 4. And, you know, Mr. Speaker, I got to talk about Georgetown. Because sometimes people behave like if we're frightened to do things in Georgetown. I heard the other day a big set of complaining about the delays of Cemetery Road and Conversation Tree. Yes, they are delayed, but under my watch, under our watch, it will be completed. But look what is happening in Georgetown. The most visited place in Georgetown right now. The Kingston Seawall. And all those of you who are prepared to say you are representatives of people in Georgetown must go through Independence Boulevard on Saturday and Sunday and see how the people are enjoying the new development. Mr. Speaker, I happen to know that you visit that area because of your own background of living in that area. Thousands of people out there. Thousands.
Honorable Minister, unfortunately, you don't have thousands of minutes. You would need an extension of 5 minutes to conclude.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask for 30 minutes for the honorable member to share some more statements in this honorable house to conclude his statement.
Honorable Minister, you have 5 minutes to conclude.
Thank you so graciously, sir. Region 5, the farm to market access roads that are being developed and maintained. Region 6, listen, the Palmyra development, the municipal airstrip that has to be delivered out there, the hotels, the stadiums, the housing development, the expansion of the road to 4 lanes from Palmyra all the way out to Molson Creek. Do you want it or you don't want it? Region 7, the improvement of the airstrips in those areas, the building out of the roads, the particle stelling that is being rehabilitated, which should have been done since on the APNU, AFC. Their plan started it and then we had to terminate and start over. Region 8, the hundreds of people who are engaged in roads that are linking their communities, the 300+ million that we have injected in those communities every year in community contracts to maintain those roads. Region 9, the connecting of Region 8 and Region 9. And I didn't tell you yet about the Linden to Letham Road that will benefit all of them, because that's Region 10. I left it for the last. Region 10, the roads. Do you want the Wisma Bridge or you don't want it? You can't say you supported the bridge and you supported the budget and you want the bridge. Because we have gotten a better deal. 35 million for 4 lanes as against your 30 million for 2 lanes. I have put out the documents publicly.
That's why David Patterson is not talking.
Do you want us to continue the road from Oriella to Kokwani? Do you want us to continue the opening up of the savannas for soya and corn with a road from Aichuni all the way to Takama? Do you want us to build a road from Millie's hideout getting into Takama? Do you want it or you don't want it? If you want it, support Budget 2024. So, Mr. Speaker, I know that we are running out of time, but we got the labs, our soils, and Materials Lab at the Ministry of Public Work. Our Designs Department to improve the quality of what we are doing. Our Inspectorate, the Government Electrical Inspectorate. Do you want us to develop our shipping capacity at the Ghana National Shipping Corporation Limited so that we could bring in the cement and the aggregates and all that is needed for Guyana's development? Do you want us to collapse the Kanawaima ferry stelling while we are waiting on the Corentyne River Bridge, or do you want us to continue it? Do you want us to be able to start conceptualizing a new high-span bridge across the Berbice River? Do you want the Corentyne River Bridge? If your answers to that is yes, support Budget 2024. It is not just the fact that we are giving more money for pensions and more money for old age, public assistance. It's not just the fact that we are cushioning the cost of fuel by ensuring we don't add any excise tax. Every family benefit from that just one measure. And let me show you. If we had to pay for the excise tax on fuel, Mr. Ramjatan's electricity bill would have gone up. Government is subsidizing Mr. Ramjatan's electricity bill by ensuring the price of fuel remains stable. That's a reality. Just like they're doing for me. And just like they're doing for Auntie Sally in Crabwood Creek and Uncle Joseph in Region 1. So ladies and gentlemen, my Guyanese brothers and sisters, Mr. Speaker, I rest my case in saying we must not come to the Parliament and just oppose for opposing sake. You should come here and scrutinize and say we want the government to do these things, but we want them to do it better. We guarantee you, with the Gold Scholarship and the training that we're doing and the exposure of our people, we will continue to deliver with efficiency and give the Guyanese people value for money. Thank you very much, and God bless you.